Here we go in the lightweight division. Brent Primus versus Chris Jones. Our tale of the tape is brought to you by Dave & Buster's. Eat, drink, play, watch sports.
Look at that 11-inch reach advantage for Brent. Primus wants to wrap him up and take him down.
Trying for you. Ready? Ready? Let's go to work. Come on.
Round number one. Our fight clock is brought to you by Miller Lite, the official beer of Bellator. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time. Primus in the black trunks, Jones in the red trunks. Low kick from Jones. You see Primus, Jimmy, in stalking mode early.
Looks very confident on the feet. Looks like Chris Jones, the one hesitating just a little bit.
Trying to close distance. Jones thus far true to his word. He said his strategy, in and out with the striking. There's a low kick. Listen, there's the takedown on his first true attempt.
Easy takedown.
Just trying to stack his opponent. There's the hammer fist, the left hand.
Oh, good up kick. That hurt him. That really rocked him, Sean.
Primus staggered. Now into the closed guard of Jones, and I agree, Jimmy. He was wobbled by that up kick.
It looked like Primus actually went out for a second. Problem with stacking the way he is, he's bringing his head in up kick range. Very careful with your posture at this range. That right hand, that hurt Jones.
Huge right hands. And there's the TKO win as Kerry Hadley stops this fight. 5 for 5 first-round finishes in the young career of Brent Primus.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the end comes officially 1 minute 45 seconds into round number one. The winner by TKO, still undefeated, Brent Primus.
Jimmy's in the cage.
I'm here with your winner, Brent Primus. Brent, that up kick, man, it looked like you were rocked. Did it feel as bad as it looked? What did it feel like to come back? Tell me about it.
You know, it definitely hit me, but you saw stars for a couple of seconds, but nothing that I don't take, sparring with all the guys in Rose City FC. So, you know, I just stick to my game plan, keep my head on my shoulders, and do what I do. Now, you've had 4 submission victories up to this point, the first knockout of your career. How did that feel? It feels great, you know, nothing like that. Just in and out, I love it, you know, it was awesome, felt great. Well, congratulations, we'll see you again in Bellator. Give it up for Brent Primus, ladies and gentlemen.
Introducing the blue corner at 5'10", weighing in 155.4 pounds as a professional. He stands undefeated at 5-0, fighting out of Eugene and Portland, Oregon. Introducing Brent Primus. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 6 foot, he weighed in 155.8 pounds as a professional. He brings 12 victories, just 1 defeat. Fighting out of San Diego, California, introducing Derek Barbaric Anderson.
Buddy, you ready? Fight!
Brent Primus immediately feels the canvas. We've seen Derek Anderson beat Patricky Pitbull, knocked out Brandon Gertz, one of the most memorable knockouts you'll ever see with that knee when Gertz should have zigged and he zagged and got knocked out. Fight Clock brought to you by Miller Lite, the original Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time.
What impressed me so much about Derek Anderson in the Patricky Pitbull fight is he had no hesitation standing toe-to-toe and trading with the hard-hitting, at that time much more experienced Patricky Pitbull. You see that confidence tonight. He'll stand in and trade with anyone.
When you are stepping up in class, Jimmy, as Brent Primus is, are you hesitant because you're stepping up in class, or are you undefeated? You haven't tasted defeat.
Did you train with top-level guys? That is what fills you with confidence. You may not have fought a guy like Derek Anderson, but you better train with him. Good job getting both hooks in. Derek Anderson using that height, not going to the floor, staying on his feet.
You don't see a lot of lightweights that stand as tall as Derek Anderson.
Nope.
He's a 6-footer, but he looks 6'2" the way he carries himself.
Stands very tall, but he's in trouble
in big
now.
trouble.
How do you get rid of the height advantage? Take the guy down, make it a grappling match.
I asked Derek Anderson about Brent Primus. He says he does some good things. He's got good ground skills, but he's not going to get there. He got there.
And that's a beautiful transition. A lot of fighters would have ended up losing position there, and he's hunting for an armbar. Trying to isolate the left arm of Derek Anderson. Both fighters have shown where they are dominant.
Back to the closed guard.
Look at that rubber guard. Yep, trapping the right arm.
What's the advantage of rubber guard versus closed guard?
Really good at trapping an arm. It's really good at keeping the guy down. The problem is the guy can always slip out pulling back that way. Rubber guard is a real commitment to that guard position. It's hard to scramble out of there.
As if there was any confusion about where Derek Anderson wants this fight. Good left lead.
So you notice as he throws, Derek Anderson doesn't tuck his chin. It stays very high. He's vulnerable to that counter left hand. You see Primus trying to throw it. That's a tactical mistake. Derek Anderson can't do is let himself get bullied to the fence. That was just too easy for Primus. Beautiful transition to the back.
Primus 5-0, 4 of those 5 wins by submission. This has been a very strong first round here for him, stepping up in class.
Every fighter knows you're going to have this step-up fight. But Bellator wants to know where you are.
Primus, a student of Hickson Gracie.
Going to be a student of somebody. That's a good one to be.
Good start.
Lion of the Gracie family. So that body triangle, that's a great technique against a taller opponent. Now going to the armbar. He's got it isolated. Putting his hips in, but Anderson, good movement on the escape.
Harder, the longer the round goes, more sweat on the body, harder to hold that.
Problem with the submission-heavy game is if you can get out and stand up, it's not like eating a lot of punches. Derek Anderson's still very fresh. It's like resetting, you gotta start all over again.
Shoots and ladders when you have to go back down to the bottom. That's when you're a submission fighter. You don't want to go back to the start. That was good left by Primus. Derek Anderson swinging wildly. Not the first round he expected or planned for. Eye-opening round 1 here for the undefeated Brent Primus.
Primus showing that he has tricks on the feet.
One right got through, and Primus has him right back on the fence. The undefeated Brent Primus stepping up in class and showing he belongs. A very impressive performance in round number 1.
Right. Back taking a look at this transition. A lot of fighters have been shoved off. Look at the balance of Brent Primus staying on top. He gave up that top position, trying to hunt for the armbar. And transitioning here for the arm. That is veteran jiu-jitsu is, I know I'm gonna lose this position. If I'm gonna lose it, I wanna give it up for something else. Transitioning to the armbar, didn't get it, but good movement by Brent Primus.
Round number 2 after an impressive round number 1.
That's the thing about having the height advantage of Derek Anderson. He tends to fight really aggressively and kind of take away that height advantage. If you're the taller fighter, he only has a half-inch reach advantage. Use that length, make your opponent come to you. Derek Anderson doesn't do that. He wades in, throwing a lot of strikes, very aggressive, but it lets a shorter fighter get a clinch easily, just like Brent Primus is doing right now. There's no bad build for MMA. It's how you use your build.
Who has the advantage in this situation?
In a clinch situation where Brent Primus is against the fence, it's Derek Anderson. He's taller, he has the longer knees, elbows over the top.
You see Brent Primus is gaining confidence, went for the spinning back fist.
Derek Anderson very aggressive with his punches.
Primus is now, and they haven't been the most technically efficient punches, but he's getting him back where he wants it.
What you're not seeing effectively from Derek Anderson is footwork. When he moves back, he moves straight back to the fence like he's sprinting backward. He has to angle. When you're the shorter fighter, you want your opponent against the fence, and Derek Anderson's been easy to push against the fence. That's why he's in the position he's in now.
Primus had 2 hooks in earlier, he's going for the same thing now.
Body triangle.
That's pretty cool we said that at the same time.
Hey, isn't it? Isn't it?
A little mind meld.
You've been doing your homework, buddy.
I wonder how much homework Derek Anderson did on Brent Primus.
It's true. Well, that's the way to get out of the body triangle, is put your weight on the side in which it's attached.
Why?
Because it puts pressure on the foot. It's easier to unlock that way. Now, Brent Primus, the standard hooks situation, having both hooks in is harder to do when you're the shorter guy. That's why Derek Anderson able to turn around the way he did.
Nice elbow. Yeah, he fought to the guard to get the good right elbow in.
And Brent Primus giving up his defense on that side to work for the armbar. That's the trade he's making, but he's taking right hands.
We've seen that with Marcin Held on several occasions. Wow, that's a third one and a fourth.
He's hurt.
Primus in big trouble now. He can't keep taking those shots.
Going back to the rubber guard. Trying to isolate that right arm. As Derek Anderson knows, you can pull straight out and back. That's how you beat rubber guard in that position.
He's gonna have a rubber chin after taking those shots.
Yep. Once again, that commitment to the arm. I mean, by putting his arm under the leg, he's committing to the left arm of Derek Anderson. It leaves him vulnerable to the right-hand punch.
Saw him just desperately pull him back into the guard. Trying to eliminate the distance that Derek Anderson's looking for.
You see Derek Anderson has the opportunity to stand up. He's not taking them. He's confident now in his ground and pound, his ability to escape submissions.
There's the dangerous moment, that split second when you escape.
And submissions don't get easier. You know, guys get more slippery, you get more tired.
Anderson landed 4 big elbows from this position earlier here in round 2.
Now in triangle position.
Cream starting to rise here for Derek Anderson in the second round.
Close but legal. That's a good non-call by the referee. Jason Herzog saw he was back up on his feet.
Footwork better now for Derek Anderson?
It's when he's under duress that he hasn't shown good footwork. It's when Brent Primus is coming at him that he's gone straight back. His offensive footwork has been all right.
Derek Anderson has been in the Bellator cage with the elite in this division. Caught by surprise in round number 1 by the undefeated Brent Primus, but he is taking control here in round 2. 10 minutes in the books, an impressive 10 for both.
Primus in the guard working for submissions, but giving Anderson the ability to posture up and get range for that short elbow, the short forearm, a lot of right hands, great ground and pound in round number 2 by Derek Anderson, almost all on the right side.
Third round, this should decide it. We'll turn to Jimmy. Scorecard brought to you by the Transporter Refuel, rated PG-13 in theaters and IMAX September 4th.
I have it all tied up, 19-19. Thought Primus out-grappled Anderson in the first round, but Anderson, great ground and pound in round number 2.
Only one of 13 pro fights for Derek Anderson who gone the distance. Remember, this is the first time Brent Primus has been in the second round, let alone the third. Primus again looking for the back.
Anderson doing a good job of hanging on to that leg. Now, one submission that does get easier as a round progresses is the guillotine. It's a little easier to slip that arm under the neck.
You were saying?
That's what he's going for now. He's committed to it. Great job, Derek Anderson getting over the guard. Didn't go for the traditional defense. Just put his knee through the guard. Great escape.
Using that length.
Chokes like the rear naked, the guillotine, they get a little bit easier in the third round as your opponent gets more slippery. The arm just slides right underneath the chin.
Brent Primus turned pro in 2010. He spent 11 minutes and 40 seconds total in the cage in his 5 pro fights. He's about to hit 11 minutes and 40 seconds in this fight alone.
Beautiful job transitioning to mount. Didn't throw a single punch. All he cares about is the submission. Didn't try to soften him up. Made the transition to the back, now going for the choke. This has been a very close fight. Derek Anderson has to know that he needs this third round, and so far it's been Brent Primus.
You get a great grappler in a tied fight going into the third round. You get him to the ground, he can run 2 or 3 minutes off that clock.
And that's the problem. I was about to say, his transition to the armbar, he shouldn't have done that. Should have held on to the position, milked the clock a little bit more, showing a little bit of inexperience here.
Now a gamble, because he escapes this armbar, they're back on their feet.
And the armbar is not tight.
And Derek Anderson is back on top where he did all his damage at the start of the second round.
Love or hate it, a world-class jiu-jitsu guy would have held on to that back position and milked the clock a lot more before he transitioned for a position that was that easily escapable.
Big gamble in a tied fight with 2.5 to go.
Exactly. You got to appreciate those finishing instincts. He went for it.
We're 2 minutes away from a very difficult decision for the judges.
Exactly. He's staying very tight with that guard, now opening it up, looking for a sweeping position.
Primus trains with Dave Jansen, trains with Cowboy Cerrone.
Locking up the Kimura, and he lets it go immediately. Didn't even try to crank it. Going for it again. You have to remember, even if he doesn't get it, he's showing he's trying to win the fight.
Right.
That's important in a close round like this. So far, Derek Anderson hasn't done much in this third stanza.
Derek Anderson, that lightweight division is so crowded. A setback here is a huge setback with the names you have in front of you on that list. Several of whom we'll see later tonight live on Spike. Anderson wants the final minute standing.
The problem is with Brent Primus out grappling him early in this round, does Derek Anderson need a finish? Good left hand by Primus.
This is going right down to the wire.
Oh, nice knee. Question coming in is, would Primus have the gas for a long fight? He is fighting hard in this last 30 seconds.
And in this ultra-deep lightweight division in Bellator, we may have a new name to talk about in another 18 seconds.
Oh, nice.
Final 10. A very close, very intense fight. Derek Anderson and Brent Primus both had their chances, but it goes to 15.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll now go to your 3 cage-side judges. Your first judge, Jackie Dinkin, scores the fight 29-28, seeing it for Anderson. Your second judge at cage-side, Chris Crail, sees the fight 29-27, seeing it for Primus. Your third and final judge, Michael Bell, scores the fight 29-28 for the winner by split decision and still undefeated Brent Primus. From Madison Square Garden tonight, live on pay-per-view, Miller Lite presents tonight's second world title fight here at Bellator NYC. 5 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Lightweight World Championship. Sanctioned by the New York State Athletic Commission. And now, from the Garden, we introduce the blue corner first. At 5'10", weighing in 154.2 pounds, in his first challenge for a world title, he comes in undefeated with 7 wins, no defeats, fighting out of Eugene, Oregon. Introducing the challenger, Brent Primus. And across the cage, the champion tonight fights out of the red corner at 5'8", weighing in 153.8 pounds. The 2-time champion tonight in his 9th world title fight stands with 16 professional victories, 3 defeats. Originally from High Ridge, Missouri, he fights out of Lantana, Florida, presenting the defending Bellator Lightweight World Champion, Iron Michael Chandler. In charge of the action, your referee, Todd Anderson.
Till the end, baby.
Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. I expect an active fight this evening. If you wish to touch gloves, do so now.
Todd Anderson, the man assigned to oversee this Bellator Lightweight Championship fight. The champion Michael Chandler chasing Patricio Pitbull. In terms of all-time Bellator victories, a victory tonight, he will equal the mark. That's what it's all about, the Bellator Lightweight Championship. 5 5-minute rounds. Fight clock brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Cheers! It's Miller time. The champion, Michael Chandler, in the red gloves. The challenger, Brent Primus, in the blue gloves. Jimmy, you mentioned Chandler having issues in the later rounds. Well, thankfully for him, 6 of his previous 7 victories have come by KO or submission, including 4 in the first round.
He starts so fast, most fighters just can't keep up. End up falling to his speed and power.
Chandler became a 2-time Bellator lightweight champion when he defeated Patricky Freire via knockout at Bellator 157 last June. And of course, coming off that successful title defense against Benson Henderson via split decision in what former Bellator announcer Sean Grandy called the best Bellator fight that he announced. And we wish our friend Sean all the best in his future endeavors. Oh, and Chandler knocked down by Primus, and he ain't got knee.
That was a strange fall. That hurt his knee. That's why he fell.
Oh, and Primus attacking the lead leg of Chandler.
That ankle might be broken or twisted. He's in big trouble. His ankle went out on him.
And Primus, used to quick starts, all 5 wins by KO or submission have come in the opening round. And he is looking to make short work of Michael Chandler.
Chandler is in huge trouble right now. His lead leg is done.
And Chandler tried to check that low kick by Primus. Now trying to settle back into a rhythm, trying to get that blood circulating again, Jimmy.
But talk about having a...
Oh, yeah, he can hardly stand.
It keeps folding underneath him.
And you know that Brent Primus is going to do just that, continue to target the lead leg of Chandler.
This could not have started off any worse for Michael Chandler. That ankle just folding every time he tries to put weight on it. And with his style, he needs to put weight on it.
Now, do you agree that Brent Primus... Oh, good right hand with the counter right hand from Chandler. And now Chandler looking
understand
Yeah,
that, Tony.
I don't
It's either over
understand
or
it
it's
at all.
not. You cannot stop it because of an injury. That should be over.
You're absolutely right, Jimmy.
If he cannot continue, it's over.
He is potentially stealing glory from Brent Primus.
You got to wave it off. You cannot stop and have him check it out. That was a legal strike. It was done by legal strikes. It is over.
Chandler's saying he can go all day. But, I mean, this is ridiculous. I'm sorry.
I've never seen this before. That's a horrible call by the ref. If he's that bad, fight's over. You can't stop and have an injury check because of a legal strike.
Well, there's no crying in baseball. There's no timeouts in MMA, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's true. Brent Primus over here yelling. He's right. Fight should be over if he can't continue.
And you know, I'm trying to add some levity, but this is serious stuff. Brent Primus should be the Bellator lightweight champion.
And to add insult to injury, they pulled the stool out from under him. That sucks. Wow. It's over.
And back-to-back shockers at Madison Square Garden. Brent Primus in his 8th professional fight. 8 is enough to become Bellator lightweight champion.
I cannot wait to see what caused it, because that ankle suddenly just could not bear any weight at all. Could have been a leg kick. Primus was leading with him.
I'm the champion!
That did it.
Well,
oh my God.
And then he ate the knee, but
he took his leg back to avoid a kick, and it just crumpled under him. Don't watch this. If you've got a faint heart or a weak stomach, he stepped back to avoid the kick, and his ankle just folded. He could no longer put weight on it. There was nothing he could do at that point. And you can hear the crowd reacting to it. It just kept giving out on him. And just in case you want to see it again, it just constantly gave out on Chandler.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cage-side physician waves off the contest due to injury. Official time 2 minutes, 22 seconds into round number 1. The winner by TKO, and now the new Bellator lightweight world champion, Brent Primus.
let's go to Jimmy Smith, who is joined by the new Bellator champion at 155.
So here's the tail of the tape, and you want to look at absolutely everything here, Josh, between Primus and Wild.
They're virtually identical, as Goldie would say. Mike Goldberg would say, it's like they're virtually identical. 34-31 is pretty close. 8-1, 12-3. I mean, but the one loss for Brent Primus just recently happened. He had an O there before. That's really the only difference. Coming off of a loss, how is that going to affect him coming into this fight?
Well, we're going to find out very shortly. Fascinating insight and backstory there from Josh. Let's get now to the voice of Bellator. It is Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, live on Channel 5, the time has come for the Bellator Birmingham main event of the evening. 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Sanctioned by the Mohegan Tribe Department of Athletic Regulation. Chairman is James Gessner. Chief of the Mohegan Tribe, Lynn Malerba. At cage side, supervising tonight, Mr. Mike Mazzulli. And now, first introducing the blue corner. At 5'11", weighing in 155.4 pounds, making his Bellator debut tonight. He enters with 12 professional victories, 3 losses from Wolverhampton. He fights out of Canada, England, presenting Tim, the Experiment Wild. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner. At 5'10", weighing in 154.2 pounds, the former Bellator lightweight world champion returns with 8 professional victories, just 1 defeat. By way of Irvine and Portland, he fights out of Eugene, Oregon, USA, introducing Brent Primus. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge of the action, Rob Hines.
All right, gentlemen, there's a Bellator main event. We've been over the unified rules in the back. Tim, you have any questions? Brent, any questions? Touch gloves if you wish. Back up, we'll get it going.
Well, does destiny beckon for Tim Wilde here? Or will it be Primus, as pretty much every expert expects? A route right to the top for one of these men. A route back to it for the American here. Primus in the red gloves, Tim Wilde in the blue.
What Tim Wilde and Ryan Scope are doing, they're leading the way for all the UK fighters to set their tempo and say, hey, we're here. You guys need to be aware of us. You guys need to understand how good we really are. And these guys are the ones laying the groundwork. These two first guys, Ryan Scope and now Tim Wilde.
Already saw two of those outside leg kicks there from Primus. Wilde is rangy. Hit to the body from Primus, but Wilde catching him, and Wilde on top and trying to grab some form of control, but Primus reacting well.
Primus got a very good type rubber guard position, so what he's doing here is he's working for that omoplata, potentially the gogoplata, which he's got here. He's trying to get that. There you go. He's trying to throw that right leg up over the shoulder.
Look at this from Primus.
He's pulling down on that head, which is choking. That foot is right up underneath the chin of Tim Wilde. There it is.
Wilde submits. Primus just too good on the floor. Way too good. And Tim Wilde looks up into the arena and sees that chance, for the time being at least, fly away from it.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the gogoplata in tight, the tap comes finally. 1 minute 20 seconds into round number one. The winner by submission, Brent Primus.
Our main event of the evening. The former champion, 34 years old, 3 years the elder of Chris Bungard. As Josh mentioned, Bungard did miss weight. The reach is virtually identical. And one more time, we throw it to Terry Cavanaugh.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. 3 rounds in a lightweight contest. This fight is sanctioned by the Mohican Tribe Department of Athletic Regulation, Chairman of the tribe, Mr. James Getzner, and supervising cage side, Mike Mazzulli and Brandon Kaliwa. And now, to those of you watching on Paramount Network, and to you in attendance in the 3 Arena Dublin, are you ready? Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands at 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighed in at 159 pounds. He brings to the cage 15 wins, 5 by way of knockout, and 5 losses. From Holy Town, Scotland, please welcome Chris the Bad Guy Bungard! And introducing his opponent across the cage in the red corner. He stands at 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed in at 154.8 pounds. He brings to the cage 9 wins, 2 by way of knockout, and only 1 loss. From Portland, Oregon, USA, he is a former lightweight champion of the world. Please welcome Brent Primus. Your referee in charge of the action, Mr. Dan Migliotta.
All right, guys. Printed rules in the locker room, gentlemen. I want you to obey my commands at all time. Protect yourselves at all time. You ready to touch gloves? You can do it again if you want. Back to your corners. Good luck.
Okay. Brent Primus, Chris Bungard. Our main event of the evening. The former champion and the bad guy. Taking this fight on a little over 3 weeks' notice. Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. And here we go! Red gloves for Primus, blue gloves for Bungard, who has spent time training here in Dublin at SBG. His home gym with Brian Gallagher, who he met 8 years ago back in Scotland. Primus looking to take this fight to the ground early. Big shots though from Bungard.
There's some big elbows there. He's in on that guillotine.
Primus's only career loss was by decision. Never been submitted, never been knocked out.
He's got that little knee slide position, just rolled over into three-quarter mount. He's in full mount now. This is not where Bungard wants to be this early in the fight, especially with 4 minutes left in the round.
5 Bellator finishes for Primus. Love to get number 6 right here, right now. Get things over, flattens him out, Josh.
Gotta be careful letting Primus on his back like that. Nice S guard, goes right to the back. He's trying to work that right up underneath the chin. Nope, back to the side choke position.
Big shots. American top team Portland. Got the body lock.
Got the body lock. He starts the 2-on-1 there in that position.
The bad spot here early for Chris Bungard.
Yeah, he wants to try to get that choke on that other side, though, unless he starts trying to, like he's doing here. It looks like a little jaw crank. He's got the squeeze.
It's all over! Just like that! Brent Primus by submission!
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Dan Mergliotta has called a stop to the action at the official time of 1:55 in round number 1, declaring your winner by submission via neck crank, Brent Primus!
Neck crank is what it will go down as officially.
One of the things they have in common, as you said, very unhappy that this is not the title fight.
Very true. Take a look right there, 70-inch reach to 73. Is that going to be a big difference in this fight? I don't think so. I do think Benson Henderson is faster. That will negate that reach advantage.
To Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA live on Showtime continues now with a lightweight feature scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing first, the blue corner. At 5'10", weighing in 155.4 pounds. As a former Bellator lightweight world champion, he brings 10 professional victories, 2 losses by way of Portland. He fights out of Eugene, Oregon, Brent Primus. And across the cage, his adversary fights out of the red corner. At 5'9", weighing in 155.5 pounds, the former 2-time lightweight world champion enters with a veteran professional record, 28 victories, 10 defeats, fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona, Smooth Benson Henderson. In charge of the action, your referee, Ryan Brueggemann.
Ready? Ready? Interesting in a week in which Bellator makes a sort of long anticipated announcement. We've been talking about it for years and years about main events becoming 5-round fights. That was another adjustment that Benson Henderson had when he came to Bellator, was being in 3-round fights and being a slow starter in a 3-round fight. I was told there would be no math, but that is often big trouble.
That is big trouble. And it's a matter of with Benson, I've talked to him about it. He goes, I know. He goes, I'm trying to get a feeling. He says, and I realize I'm not being that offensive after I go back and I look at it and I go, you just need to start more. And he really did that when in his loss to Michael Chandler. He was really coming out and fighting well and fighting fast. And he just needs to be sure he doesn't leave himself out of position. But beautiful start right now by Benson Henderson.
These are big kicks he's winding up on.
And this right here, Brent Primus is going to find out. Benson Benson Henderson is no easy task to take down. So Benson needs to continue on with that pressure. Those kicks can be a big difference in this fight.
And the other thing about Ben Henderson's quote, and I'm using the air quotes now with the fingers, the slow start. He could not have chosen a more difficult path when he entered Bellator.
Oh my God.
Goes right up to 170 against the 18-1 world champion Andrei Koreshkov and got blasted.
Well, you think about it, go back to where he was fighting, and he fought against a guy named Brent at 170. He won that fight. Then he beat George Masvidal at 170. So he's like, you know what? 170 is a good weight class for me. I feel comfortable there. I got a lot of energy. These guys being bigger is not affecting me. Big shot.
Primus said he was going to let his hands go, and he did.
Big shot by Brent Primus. He hurt Benson on that.
But the Koreshkov fight,
oh my God,
taught us that Ben Henderson at 155 and 170, his chin is sharp.
Oh.
I mean, the shots he took in that fight were amazing.
He took some giant shots against Koreshkov and kept coming back, but Koreshkov put a ton on it. This is a guillotine attempt, but it's not going to work with what you're seeing from Brent Primus. Nice job of defending. See that wrist control?
It's a great look at it there, what Ben Henderson is doing with the red glove on Primus.
Brent needs to work himself back to his feet. Very nice job by Primus to get himself back up. He's going to try to work that choke. You see just that downward pressure by Benson Henderson keeps that choke from being effective. That's a lot of pressure, but not enough to put a guy like Benson Henderson out. Now Benson's going for that single. He's got his hands together on it. Needs to be very careful of letting Brent come up. He's got that Kimura grip on the arm.
He does, and Primus is, remember here, with fighters early in the fight, not as much sweat to deal with. Primus gets a lot of his subs early in fights because of that. It's Ben Henderson's hand reaching through, trying to keep the foot of Primus from coming all the way through.
Well, you see Benson actually grabbing inside. He can grab his own shorts. He can't grab the shorts of Primus, but he can grab his own. Primus coming up. You better be very careful of the triangle.
Henderson is defending. He's defending well, but you don't score points on defense.
No, he's stepping over right there. Primus got a good lock with that Kimura grip, but not enough to create the pressure that's going to put Benson in trouble. Now he's rolling through. That means he's in trouble with that. Primus lost the grip out of it. Now, when you're trying to put a Kimura on someone, it is a strength move, and you can burn a lot of energy doing it. We'll see how heavy Brent's arms are.
John, the evolution of MMA crowds to recognize the significance of what just happened.
Absolutely. You saw the way that Benson had to roll through with that Kimura to take the pressure off, but losing the hand control on it, losing the position. High-level stuff.
Very good offensive first round for Brent Primus. You could make the case if you want that his best performance was the loss to Michael Chandler because of what he was able to sustain over 5 rounds and losing his title back to the Kimura grip. But we're done with round 1 in the round.
Totally.
Every round you could say was that a 10-8 or out of 10-9. Who won that round? And it was a fascinating fight that way because you had the slow starter against the super fast starter, the guy who's great at the end of fights, Ben Henderson, the guy who gets tired. And it's what you talk about all the time. At the end of that fight, Ben Henderson was doing cartwheels and he had all the energy, but Michael Chandler won the fight. All right, what does Ben Henderson have to do differently early in round 2?
Well, he needs to go back. There you go.
Yeah,
those kicks are the difference. He needs to really go after the kicks, go after bringing them up high at times. You're not going to see Primus getting him in a takedown position off of that high kick. Benson's got heavy legs, heavy kicks, and when he goes down low, after bringing him up high, it's going to make it to where Brent's not going to be able to respond.
Talked to Benson this week about how priorities change and how you appreciate things more the older you get with combination. Because there was a time when he didn't seem too long for the sport. Now he is realizing that he's on the back nine and he desperately wants that Bellator world title. He's had 2 shots, 170 at 155, and he knows he has to win this fight tonight to get that last chance.
I don't know what was said to Benson in the corner, but he's doing the right thing as far as those kicks coming up high, and a lot of them. One of the things about Primus loads up on those shots, but you'll notice he starts to get square. Notice how he's not bladed, he's really squaring it because he's trying to keep Benson from being able to take him down. So that opens up the ability with those kicks to the legs, just like that, or coming up high.
That's the best shot of the fight.
Clean shot. Primus ate it well, though, man. Just snorted and came right back.
I said that's what, in some ways, to me, with all the fancy, the go-go plotters, the fancy submissions, to me, the performance that impressed me the most was Brent Primus taking the beating from Michael Chandler that he took, that he survived 5 rounds, 5 championship rounds with Michael Chandler.
And he took a lot of shots. He showed his mettle. Yeah. He showed how tough he is. Because we've seen him in fights where he was taking some shots, but he was the guy normally delivering the more damage throughout it. So you go, okay, when you're the hammer, sometimes it's easy. When you're the nail, it's never easy. Brent Primus has shown, you know what, I can take me in the nail at times. Nice knee inside by Benson.
Primus almost goes too low here. Puts Ben Henderson in a good spot.
Benson's been very effective with those knees to the body.
This battle between 2 former lightweight world champions coming up next. The light heavyweight Grand Prix moves to the semifinals. Ryan Bader back in Phoenix. And Vadim Nemkov defends the title in the main event in the other semifinal. Meanwhile, Brent Primus gets the back.
One mistake, and look at what happens. Brent Primus on the back of Benson Henderson. Benson needs to be careful about just keeping his hands there. He needs to think about the defense. He's just tucking the head right now. Smart move by Brent Primus to open him up with punches.
Primus not going crazy. He's got the body lock, and he's just going to look for his opportunity and work here from this dominant position.
Well, Primus look at Primus. He was losing this round. Up to this point, now he gets the back. It's how many shots can he put on Benson, or how much danger can he put him in with a submission attempt? Or can he get him out of the fight completely? He's got a beautiful figure 4 on the body, but he's not doing anything as far as doing damage to Benson because Benson's controlling his arms. He can't get his arms free. There's no submission attempt. There's no strikes. So really, even though he's got a great position, he's not being able to do anything to damage Henderson.
And is it enough to negate the first couple of minutes of this round?
If he doesn't get to a point where he can start landing shots, no.
And Henderson content to run out the clock here in round 2. Both of their voices this week in talking about the fact that the tricky Pitbull fight will be for the title and not this one. They have done what they said they were going to do, which is fight like this is a championship fight.
If you want a title shot, this is the round. Both. It could be where, you know what, one guy's up both rounds, but I look at it, it's pretty even. Big
shots of the fight for Ben Henderson. And Primus pops right back up.
He felt it.
Every shot in a close fight makes a difference. Ben Henderson Henderson has been in so many close fights. 20 that have gone to the scorecards, including one with Josh. Tries to pull Primus into the guillotine.
Not going to get that. Primus has got out of it. There you go. Benson now needs to get himself up off of his back. He cannot hang out here at all. Great job of trapping the arm by Primus for a second.
Muscle him into the dominant position, but Benson is so tough to keep on the ground.
And you look how smart Benson was. You saw he was in a position to get kneed. He put his knee to the ground so he could not get kneed to the head.
And defending by pushing off on the leg, now trying to roll again.
Primus has his hands in position, but he's unable to arch his back and get that pressure on that choke. Benson doing a great job with that elevator hook. You see how those hips are getting up high and light. Primus trying to create that pressure of downward pressures, put his back flat to the ground. Nice job by Primus to keep him where he wants him.
Primus has always been the mystery. Does he belong at the highest level? Even some of his early wins that got him into title contention, that got him that title fight with Michael Chandler, were split decisions that could easily have gone the other way.
And this right here is Benson Henderson going after trying to get up. He gives his back. You can't give your back to a guy as good as Brent Primus. Now he's in a position where he can control the pace of the fight, and look for the submission.
Stay in a dominant position in a very close fight for the final 2 minutes. So much of this fight has been Brent Primus in position where he's finished less skilled guys. But Benson Henderson's defense has been tremendous, and that's great. But you don't score points without the ball.
Benson trying to kick that leg free. Gets up to one leg, but it's tough to stand up with a guy that's 170-some pounds right now on your back. The big thing that I want to see from Primus here is he's got to do something as far as go for the submission or go for the strikes. Don't just sit there and control.
Worked so hard to not be comfortable on his back and to get back up. Now he needs to not be comfortable in this position. If you're Brent Primus, you've got to make it impossible for the judges to take it from you.
He's got that beautiful body triangle right now. Within the position he is, Benson is not going to change. He wants to put that foot to the ground. He's got to turn towards his right, get the foot to the ground, which will allow him to start to move inside of that body triangle. But right here, you're losing that. That is not you winning the fight by you landing a little shot while he's landing shots.
And Ben Henderson is almost saying, stand us up.
That's not going to happen.
Not a chance, not from here. What do you want to see Brent Primus do in the final 30 seconds to make a statement?
I just want to see him either open up with big strikes or go after that rear naked choke right now that he's looking at. Yep. Just switched it off to the arm.
Ben Henderson needs something big in the final 20 seconds.
You're going to see Benson do a big jump back or a big attempt to drive Primus into the canvas.
But the fight will end where it spent most of its time. Brent Primus on top.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go now to your 3 judges at Caneside. Your first judge, Sean Dallas Hall, scores the fight 29-28, while judges Michael Bell and Brian Miner both see it the same 30-27. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Brent Primus.
He won a world title in a fluke of a finish at Madison Square Garden. But this feels like the biggest win of the career of Brent Primus. And he undoubtedly will stake his claim for a title shot as he joins John McCarthy.
I'm here with the winner, Brent Primus. Brent, as I walked in here, the first thing you said is tough man, tough man. What was it like going against a legend like Benson Henderson?
Man, like I said, I've bought so many pay-per-views watching that guy fight. He's a legend. I respect him so much, man. So it was an honor to get here and share the cage with him. He's a beast. He's doesn't get tired. He's good at everything, man. So it was an honor to share the cage with him. Thank you, God, so much. Thank you, God.
First round, you ended up grabbing a Kimura, and you had it at a certain point, then you lost it a little bit, and then you actually had it to where he had to actually roll through to try to keep the pressure off, and you lost the grip. What were you thinking at that moment?
Oh, I thought I had it, and I thought I'd get out, and then I thought I had it again, and like he's a vet, man. He's been in here and done it all, so I'm not surprised at all.
Third round starts off, and he starts off fast. He comes at you, he lands a beautiful left. It puts you on your butt. You got right back up, but how hurt were you?
I wasn't really hurt. It's more of an off-balance thing, but yeah, man, it didn't hurt me at all. Not at all.
Is there any doubt in your mind that that victory puts you in the position for whoever wins in Ireland, you should get next?
Hell yes, it does! Scott Coker, if Quealy backs out, gets injured like he always does, or Patricky somehow gets injured, I'm here. I'm the man. I'll fight next week. And if not, hey, I'm in line, man. Let me take out any of those guys. I'm gonna smash him.
Arizona, you gotta give it up for the man from Oregon, Brent Primus.
The tail of the tape then, the lightweights World Grand Prix, Brent Primus and Mansour Barnaoui, and look at that reach, John.
Yeah, that's 73 inches. That's nice, but 77 is huge, and he uses that well, especially in the clinch with his Muay Thai plum.
Time that we got to Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA in tonight's co-main event now presents fight number 3 of the quarter-final round in the $1 million Lightweight World Grand Prix. Scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds live on Showtime. We'll introduce first the blue corner. At 6 foot, weighing in 154.6 pounds. Just off an impressive submission victory in his Bellator debut tonight. Riding an 8-fight win streak, he enters with 20 professional victories, 4 defeats. Right now, at number 8, he's fighting out of Paris, France, presenting the Afro Samurai, Mansour. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner at 5'10", weighing in 154.6 pounds. The former Bellator lightweight world champion, currently ranked at number 4, stands with 11 professional victories, 3 losses by way of Portland. He fights out of Eugene, Oregon, USA. Introducing Brent Primus.
2 great lightweights in the cage. One great lightweight has joined myself and John. Josh is here. Josh, your thoughts about this atmosphere, this fight? Remarkable, isn't it?
It can completely be a big thing for Barnaoui fighting here in Paris, but the other thing is the adrenaline that could potentially get to him. You got to watch him very carefully to see how he starts to fight this first 2 minutes.
All action right from the start here. Barnaoui dangerous in the clinch. He'll look to land knees and elbows.
You saw right away how he went towards that clinch and bringing his elbow across. That was a nice shot by Primus, though. Good right hand.
John, you and I have talked several times about this body style that Barnaoui has is perfect for MMA. You've seen it in a lot of top-level fighters across the sport of MMA. You've got John Jones, Anderson Silva, Gegard Mousasi. Guys that have this body style really make it work for them.
Yeah, and it's a factor of a lot of people will look to go, well, he's kind of thin. No, he's got leverage strength, and it's so difficult to understand how strong he is when it gets into some of these clinches, but he just annihilates people in the clinch.
What he's trying to do here. Primus has had a couple of moments of success, but there's a lot of Barnaoui pressure here.
Well, we know how strong Brent Primus is. He is a huge lightweight when you're looking at him as far as strength, and his ground game is fantastic, and this is exactly what he needs to do. Do not allow Barnawi to get to your back. Kind of did right there. He was almost in the top position.
When we talked to Brent this week, though, he said, I'm not too concerned if he gets to my back. I've been training with Lucas Barboza, who's one of the best in the game at getting to the back and getting the finishes. So he's like, I've had the best black belts in the world on my back, and I know I can withstand it.
But you know there's a difference between someone just grappling and when someone is trying to land shots on you and you're getting hit.
He said he's going to buy Mansour a filet mignon if he can choke him out tonight. That was the promise. So confident is he in that aspect of things anyway.
I want to remind everyone, this is a very fast pace, and this is a 5-round fight.
Absolutely.
Barnawi lands his right hand there, straight down the pipe, blood to the nose of Primus. There's the knee as well.
That was a clean body shot. You know, we talked to Primus, and he talked about what great condition he was in, doing all kinds of big sprints. Well, he's going to need that kind of conditioning with what's going on here right now.
Again, you see that leverage that Barnawi gets on those knees to the body.
This is such a rapid pace, John, and being here in Paris in front of your crowd, I've fought several times in my own hometown, and there is a tendency to sometimes have an adrenaline dump after the first round. Barnawi, I think, is really got to start to slow it down a little bit, control this clinch, start doing some work, try to slow things down to kind of get himself established.
Absolutely. You know, we were talking before about the clinch game, and you think, everybody thinks, oh, I'm good in the clinch game. There are levels to everything, and sometimes you'll all of a sudden be clinching with someone and everything that you've done in the past does not work. They just have the ability to control your neck, to land shots that you're not used to, and that's a big elbow by Barnawi.
Fantastic shot. There's another left and right. He is relentless, Barnawi.
Primus really fighting back. This pace is just unbelievable right now.
Right hand there from Primus. Barnawi looked for the knee. Final minute of this opening round. The pace just remorseless to this point, as the guys were saying. It has to slow down.
If there's one thing that's been the big difference is in the clinch, Barnawi with the elbows and with the knees, he's done more damage.
Yeah, but Barnawi's got to stay out of that boxing range because Primus is landing the big shots.
Yeah, mouthpiece came out. Now Barnawi gets him down.
Barnawi's leaving too much space when he's in that clinch sometimes and giving Brent Primus the opportunity to land the big right hand. He's had success with it.
That right hand has landed multiple times.
This is such a fast pace, John.
Unbelievable. But right now you're seeing Barnawi pass through his guard. Primus looking for that Kimura grip.
We come to the end of the opening round. Electric pace.
You don't take that shot, especially with your mouthpiece on the ground.
So round two, they're on their feet again. Right hand from Barnawi to start things off.
Well, both guys seem to be in fantastic shape.
Nice job by Primus, getting the takedown here. This is a big moment for Primus, in my opinion, because he's got the ability to submit anybody, and he needs to really work to put pressure on Barnawi and work towards that submission. But if you're not going out of submission, do damage.
6 wins via submission for Brent Primus. He is high level.
You know, Brent Primus had a very good rubber guard type game from his back. But then now working with Lucas Barboza, you can't afford to be on your back. Your guard will get past, you'll get to your back, all of these things. And I trained for a long time with Leo Vieira, and my game increased so intensely over the last couple months. That's what I'm seeing right now by Brent Primus. His ability to try to pass, his ability to try to put heavy pressure. He's doing a fantastic job with the knee slide here. Really making Barnawi carry his weight.
Primus knows he's going after that arm triangle right now. Primus knows that Barnawi has an outstanding elevator sweep, but this is big right now. Barnawi just trying to hold on with where his hand's at. That's not a good way of defending what Primus is doing.
Barnawi starting so powerfully, but Primus looking to turn things around here.
Primus is starting to be able to turn his hips, slide his legs out. He's free of that half guard.
We call that answering the phone. He's got to get his right hand more to his ear, not over his head. That's still able to choke him from that position. You can see Barnawi start to struggle a little bit.
He's struggling a lot. Nice job of turning out. He's got to be careful of the rear naked.
4 of those 6 submission wins via rear naked choke for Brent Primus, but Barnawi free of that for now.
He's working on that arm submission there too. You can try to hit that arm bar from there with the wrist control if he steps over that glove. Barnawi still working that arm bar. It's right there.
Straight arm lock. Going back to the straight arm lock once again. Gave up on it.
What that will normally do is give you enough space to try to turn your hips back towards him and bring the knee inside when they start to pull out.
The noise in this place as well when they think they see the beginnings of something. This roar just starts. Primus, as we expected, is proving that he belongs in this Grand Prix.
He's got to be careful grabbing that head, because Primus has a good opportunity just to step over the head and try to attack the armbar.
Yep. Primus doing a nice job of moving himself, flowing through, going to the back again. Great job by Barnawi to get back to the half guard.
Barnawi needs to work on getting that left side underhook. He keeps hugging the head. That could put him in a lot of danger, especially when you get to that Von Flue choke or anything that causes him to step around the head to attack the arm.
You can tell that Primus's arm's getting a little bit heavier, though, as he's trying to throw shots, a little bit labored. It's been a lot of grappling.
Well, John, they came out in the first round with such a rapid pace, and then now in the second round, they started it off that way, and then luckily they ended up here on the ground in exchanges for grappling.
Yeah, let's just remember, 50 seconds remaining of round 2. Got a long way to go here.
A long way.
This is that opportunity for both fighters just to settle in right now, get comfortable, go back to their corners, get a drink of water and get their breath, and come back out and reestablish themselves in the next round.
Nice right hand. Here it goes. There was Barnawi with the sweep. He's got that beautiful half guard sweep.
That was specifically what Primus told us about as well.
Well, we saw him do it multiple times against a guy that we know has got a great ground game in Adam Piccolotti. Great job of hiding the arm by Barnawi.
First round Barnawi, second round Primus.
Exactly.
You'd have to ask him, because that's what I put.
So round number 3. Primus said beforehand that I'm like a Swiss Army knife in terms of my options compared to him. There is confirmation of the scorecard. That's Big John's, but as we just heard, it's Josh's as well. Been high level so far, worthy of this Grand Prix so far. And it's on a knife edge right now.
I was just about to say, Barnawi needs to start moving his head offline. He's just throwing the jab, keeping his head directly in the center.
Primus has had success with that right hand, and again.
Well, Primus is doing exactly what Josh's saying. At least when he's throwing, you're seeing his head come off that center line. That's making it tougher for Barnawi to be able to just target him.
This is what I said at the end of the first. He's got to get into this range right here where he does the damage. The elbows and the knees up the middle. He cannot afford to be in the boxing range.
This is where Barnawi is strong. When he gets into this tight, close quarter combat area where he is right in the clinch, throwing elbows.
Cut under the right eye of Barnawi. Right hand doing the damage from Primus.
That was a beautiful knee right up the middle as Brent tried to turn away.
Brent starting to breathe pretty heavy right now. He's got to find a place to catch some air.
Barnawi unloading these hooks now.
Nice job of Primus moving his head. And you can see how labored Brent Primus is throwing that right hand now.
He was pushing it, wasn't he?
Now it doesn't have the snap, so Barnawi can take and just accentuate that attack based upon there's no threat from that hand.
John, it's just remarkable. Barnawi was away from the sport for 3 years, comes back, gets a win over Adam Piccolotti in just 2 rounds, and now just the way he's fighting just lets you know he loves this. This is who he is.
Well, it's not only, I mean, he's your worst nightmare in fighting because of the way he fights. He is a grinding fighter that just keeps coming at you, and you hit him with shots and he walks through them like he's a zombie.
Big knee right up the middle, just barely touched the chin of Brent Primus.
Primus doing a good job of moving himself side to side, trying to just catch some air right now. Oh, that hurt.
He's hurt. He's on the back foot here. Barnawi senses it. Only been stopped once by Chablis, but Primus over, and the crowd rise here for Barnawi, who is close to the finish.
Look for Primus to try to grab the Kimura, just try to slow him down.
Primus did not want to just go to the ground like that. Not a good place. He's good off of his back, but Barnawi is too good on the top for him to catch him in anything, and he's just going to take damage.
Still 2 minutes to go in the round as well.
John, better here, though, than on the feet because Barnawi was pushing the action, really getting into his face. Right now, he's got a chance to hug him, pull him close to potentially not take as much damage.
Still Barnawi just landing those little shots. And there's the elbow.
And that's your biggest problem right there. Barnawi does not throw. He'll throw punches, but he'll throw big elbows from the ground. And in the half guard position, man, he'll do a lot of damage. Nice job of Primus being able to grab hold there, trying to slow it down.
Nicely done with the reversal. Barnawi got carried away, chasing the head. Sat to his hip, and then it made it easier for Brent Primus to get to the top position. A minute left.
You start to let that weight go just in one direction a little too much. Got a guy like Primus, he takes advantage of it.
Here we go, he's setting in the choke.
Trying. It's not there, though.
Primus turning around the position and trying to quieten this crowd for good here.
And with as tired as his arms have been, trying to squeeze like that is not an easy thing.
What Barnawi needs to do is open up that heel of Brent Primus a little bit more to start turning his hip away so that choke is not there. Brent did a good job of getting the far side underhook to control the body.
And let's not forget that Barnawi is tired too.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
Take your toes out of the cage.
Brent Primus' corner is not happy with the toes in the cage right there.
Still, 2 rounds remain. Who wants it more? Who's got more?
I'll tell you what, both guys have got to dig deep because this is a brutal fight.
I don't have much to say. This is such a fast pace. I mean, this is really why people love watching the lightweights, because it's pretty much the best.
Oh, you had to say it.
I had to say it. I've always honestly believed it's the best division in the sport. I know right now the bantamweights are right there, if not slightly
Yeah,
ahead. I'm going to give a little bit of love. They're ahead.
But these guys, boy, they have been putting on a show.
But Josh, people like me say, oh, they've got to dig down deep, they've got to want it more and all of that. But you tell us what it's like. What do they need to find? Talk us through it. They're doing everything they need to do. I mean, you can't dig much deeper. Both of them have taken big shots. Both of them have got taken down. Both of them have been on bottom. Both of them have been on top. They're doing everything they need to do. This is a great, great fight.
I'll be honest right now. I've watched Brent Primus in every one of his fights. I've watched him win a championship. He's never fought as tough and as good as he has tonight. This is the best he's ever looked. I love what I'm seeing out of him.
You go round 3 to Barnaoui. 1 up with 2 to go.
But Brent needs to be careful at getting into that clinch. At this point in the fight, we've seen Barnaoui is starting to get a little bit too much of an advantage in that clinch position.
He was trying to let those hands go a bit. That right hand has been a great source of success for him.
If I'm Barnaoui, I'm keeping that left hand up on my chin the whole time, because that's really the only shot that Brent Primus is able to find. And just start throwing my own straight right hand down the pipe, and then getting into that clinch and throwing those elbows if I'm Barnaoui.
Nice counter right hand before by Primus. Well, all those 30-second sprints that Primus was talking about, they're paying off right now, because obviously, you know, he's in shape, and if he didn't do that, he wouldn't be in the fight right now.
John, you know, no matter what you do, you're going to get tired.
Oh, yeah.
It just has to do with how fast your body recovers, and that's why those 30-second sprints are so key.
Oh, beautiful elbow knee. And then Primus lands another of those right hands. Wow, is Primus tough. We said the pace would slow, inevitably. Of course it has, throughout. But this is just all about willpower now.
See, you could see him start to sag to bring him down backside. Nice job. Not going to be easy for Barnaoui to get that with Primus.
No, but John, this is fight IQ. Brent Primus understands I was having success when I was on top.
Absolutely.
Let's get this to the takedown, exert the energy to get the takedown, now dominate from the top and slow the pace down at my level.
Control the pace.
They're both giving everything.
Nice job moving right to mount by Primus. He's back on that choke.
Like I said, you find the submissions that you really like. That's in deep, John.
That's
in real deep.
Has Primus got it here?
And he's able to, if he can drop that hip down by getting his leg free, that's going to put a lot more pressure on it.
This huge crowd holds its breath.
Driving back to get to mount. He's giving up on the choke. Trying to still work. He's got a choke set. He's just got to be able to lock it in.
If Barnaoui turns more to his left, Brent Primus can actually attach a rear naked choke and just drive his body weight over to push that forearm across his neck and finish the choke.
Crowd are trying to get Barnaoui going here, trying to encourage him.
And if you're Primus right now, after all this, man, that just to squeeze is so exhausting. But if you're Barnaoui, you're the one putting up with all this pressure too. Primus is trying not to squeeze. He's trying to use body weight and pressure and lean to make this work.
You can see Barnaoui, he's used to being in these positions. He's just closing his eyes, trying to relax, slow his breathing down. And if you're Primus, you don't want to squeeze too much and too long, because if it gets back to the feet, you're in trouble.
Nice job by Primus to look towards that figure four with his arms. Just don't squeeze with your arms. Let the pressure of your weight and body create that squeeze. Drive that arm a little bit forward with that squeeze.
Final minute of this penultimate round. Primus still looks for it. Still alters that body position a little bit to try and get it in deep.
Barnaoui needs to get that fist back to his ear to try to keep that separation so that arm's not getting pushed across.
He loves grabbing the head, though. I don't know why he continues to do that.
That's
it is
why.
a mistake.
He loves that little arm in, that straight arm block. Like I said, every grappler has their go-to moves, and that seems to be his.
This right here can be a battle for position right now.
5 seconds remaining.
That's not illegal what he's doing. He could throw those elbows. That was not straight up and down.
No surprise what you'll endure for $1 million and a shot at the title next.
It has been grueling. It has been high level. It has been dramatic. It's been fantastic, but it should be all of those things. If you're aiming for the semi-final, if you're aiming for a shot at the title. And it comes down to this round on John's scorecard, on Josh's as well, on surely many of you watching. It comes down now to 4.5 minutes between two fantastic fighters.
Well, some big shots landed by Barnawi. Primus needs to use his feet.
Primus does use his feet and uses his hands as well. He went for the takedown.
Great job by Brent Primus. Wasn't exactly the way you'd want to set it up, but it worked.
And he'll take anything like that right now.
Absolutely.
Brent did a good job of making Barnawi think that he was going to stand, exchange, and then as they got closer, Barnawi put his hands up higher to defend his head, and he shot in on the takedown.
Every ounce of experience used by Primus. Total strikes landed, looks like that. He said beforehand it would look like that. Primus 120, 6 fewer than Barnawi. You wouldn't have had many takers.
Looks like Primus trying to slice through, pass. At this point, mounting is not a bad idea for him because Barnawi doesn't have a lot of explosion left. Nice job by Primus. You see him with both feet inside on that leg.
Primus again looks for the neck.
He's got to slew his back flat to the mat and start turning into him.
He needs to make sure that he controls that left arm of Barnawi, though. If he loses control of that arm, he could lose that position.
Good job of getting himself back up on top. Yep. When you're dog dead tired, John, in those positions, sometimes you just want to give it up and not control the wrist. You don't want to get back on top. You're just saying, okay, I'll just concede to my back. But great job by not doing that.
And the longer this goes with Primus in these positions, with Primus this powerful, the closer he gets.
Nice job. He's got the figure 4 on the body lock. This is big for Brent Primus. He's going to be able to ride this out for a long time. The question is, does he go for the rear naked or does he go for more control right now?
I think what you do is you threaten it here and there. You never put too much effort into it. If it's not there, you don't go for it. But you keep continuously threaten it to make him think of it.
You know how tired his arms are right now.
Absolutely.
Primus is doing just what you said, Josh. He's leaving that threat there. They have given absolutely everything here. Barnawi came out like a runaway train. Primus hung on in there. Primus slowly started to turn it round, and the durability he's shown here. The fitness level off the scale.
I'm still amazed, though, for someone who went away from the sport for 3 years in Barnawi, come back and have a win over Adam Piccolotti, now go right into a 5-round fight, John. It says a lot about him as an athlete and as a fighter, for him to be able to endure this pace for 5 rounds.
Absolutely, and you take a look, man.
Primus is on that choke. It's on the chin, but trust me, there's a ton of pressure there.
That's in deep.
It is. It's starting to slide more and more.
Primus looks to apply the coup de grace here.
You can
Not
see.
too many gave him a chance tonight.
Right back to it. It's still on the chin, though. That does not feel good if you're Mansour Barnaoui, but there's no doubt in my mind that Brent Primus gets the 5th round, which in my opinion gives him the fight.
It really depends on how you scored that 2nd round, John.
That is the one, isn't it? What a fight. What a fight. They should get to their feet again here.
Unbelievable action. This is that takedown by Primus right here. He got in on that leg. He was able to get to the top position, which was key for him, and he maintained that throughout the round. Barnaoui was not able to get away from him. He was able to stop everything that he applied, but Brent Primus, way too good on the ground also for Barnaoui just to turn him or take the top position. Big time. Look, you can see Primus squeezing with everything he's got left. You gotta love a guy that puts it all out there throughout 5 rounds of fighting.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance in tonight's quarterfinal round main event, we go now to your 3 judges at cage side. Ben Cartledge, Sal D'Amato, Chris Lee. All have it exactly the same at 48-47. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision, having earned a title shot now in the semifinal round of the World Grand Prix, Brent